I had to look at what do I want? And I would visualize and say, I will help millions of people, and the right people will come along to help me get to where I need to be. So Den was the one who had studied metabolic syndrome and knew all the statistics about it. He was looking for something like Naturally Slim. And Den later on went to write a book called The Book on Healthcare Reform. And it really was. Den is in the insurance and benefits business, and he understands all of healthcare. So he understood how we could make a difference. So Den is the president of Holmes Murphy at the time, and Wally is like the top sales guy.
Yeah.
Ice to Eskimos. And so, and he loves wellness. And so Den would also say, you're a nurse practitioner. If we could build this as a medical claim, it would be fabulous. And Den could just see the niche, see where to put it. But now it's larger, but at the time it's a 900 employee company. So we have their accounting department. We have their whole sales team. In fact, it was so funny. They put all their clients on Naturally Slim, their regular clients. And then when a client that their benefits consultant was not Holmes Murphy, if they heard about us and wanted it, that benefits consultant company would freak because the company was going to take Naturally Slim and love it and drop whoever they had and go to Holmes Murphy. So it was really kind of funny because it was like, we're going to talk to such and such. They're going to freak out. So it's like all of a sudden I had the resources of a 900 person company. I had a sales force. I was in charge of the curriculum. They were in charge of sales. I was a nurse practitioner. Both my parents were entrepreneurs, but not in the big business world. And I laugh because I'll get frustrated if somebody doesn't call me back within 24 hours. And other things I see business related because they were and still are a top-notch company. Like you call somebody back a few hours and 24 hours is max. You write the email this way. You do this, you do that. So I had a crash course in how to be a top-notch company. And Den and Wally, you know how you were talking about the quality of my videos?
Sure.
This is before you. They were pretty good, but they were like, okay, we need some new videos. We're going to get some more. And I forget, like, we want to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was like, not happening.
Right.
So they funded it.
Wow.
And they didn't ask for any back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one more really cool story about them, and we'll hear more later, I'm sure, along my insights. Talk about two respectable Christian men. They said, let's form a partnership. This is after we worked together about a year and a half. Let's form a partnership, and it's going to be 50-50.
Wow.
And I always wondered why Den's brother-in-law wrote the contract for us to partner. And they kept all the dirty, not so happy stuff. They didn't even let me know about it. They're like, we're protecting Marcia, which
Right.
I'm glad they did. Years later, they were like, the people that were around them were like, 51 us, 49% her.
Right.
And Den was like, no. And he could not find an attorney who would draw up a 50-50 contract. And so his brother-in-law would. And we never had an issue. We always got along. And it was a beautiful thing. It was fun.
Well, working with the right people is essential. And, you seem to have a knack for finding the right people.
I know I found you.
Well, then I appreciate it. And, and personally, there was that time when it was time for you to transition even away from the little rinky-dink operation that I had to something that could support where you were. And I had a number of clients that did that. In fact, my wife and I joked that in those early days when we were desperate for money, we would have been wise to just take a percentage of our clients, because I had another client that had a similar track with you guys. Wow. So it was always a joy for me when they got to a place where, they could bring stuff in-house and didn't need me anymore. And it was neat watching you do that. But we've heard a lot about your business side of things and that incredible development there. But I'd really love to share more about the woman behind all of the work. And so can we get personal a little bit? Is that okay?